What up guys, Dreadshells here and welcome back to World of Tanks. It's been a while since I've done an interactive commentary video for you guys, and I know you guys have said in the past how you enjoy me going over the decision making processes in any particular battle step by step, explaining why this was a good decision or why it was a bad decision, and the multiple options that you have in any given situation. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to be showing you guys a battle I had with my clan Fusion on the Fisherman's Bay map, and this battle was played during the Operation Safari Clan Wars campaign for the FCM50T and the T23E3. So this is a little bit different flavor of gameplay. It's a lot about teamwork and positioning, a lot more important to be coordinated than in pub matches, and how to work together. So let's just get started. Now, before the battle, of course, in any competitive Clan Wars play, we've gone over a previous strat that we decided we wanted to do. My role is to go up to the middle in the F5, F6 area and spot the middle. And actually, I'm just going to pause the game here real quick. Even in pub matches, you have a choice of, if you go up to the middle area of Fisherman's Bay, you basically have two choices. One, you can go up to the slightly west position here, along the solid house here next to this bush, and try to spot enemy tanks moving into B2, B3, C2, as they cross from their spawn into the western side of the map. The second choice that you have, as far as early spotting is concerned, is to do an active roll scout through E6 and E7, just to try and spot any enemy tanks that might be moving into town from the spawn, once again, just in the opposite direction. Now, since you see that our team is starting to move into the city via our strat, I decide that I'm actually going to go a little bit more aggressive than originally planned, because it's quite common for enemy scouts to park in Echo 6 and Echo 7, not only in pub matches, but especially in Clan Wars maps, where they're trying to get an idea of your team dispersion. So I want to counter scout their scout, basically. And that will help screen my team's approach into the city. Some of them still may get spotted, but the enemy will not be able to shoot with impunity as they cross. I get spotted there, crossing back up into the middle, and I take a blind shot into one of the suspect bushes that I mentioned earlier, that enemy scouts like to use to spot tanks moving into the city from the south spawn. And Artie takes a shot at me, and from the angle that the shell landed in the direction I was moving, he's probably in A2 or A3. Clan Wars battles is always about absorbing the maximum amount of information that you can and applying it to quick decision making. I find a couple of their heavy sitting in Echo 3, and one of their scouts is spotted in G1. Now we have a pretty good assumption that they are trying to do a western 1-2-3 line defense, where they're using their heavies as a anvil, so to say, as a wall to hold the middle area of the map on the E line and the F line, and they're using the rest of their team to snipe either from the northern flanks in B2 or the southern flanks in H1 and H2. So right now we're just kind of trying to find a little bit more of their team. Unfortunately, our backside scout there is getting swarmed by a group of enemy lights down there in J1, and we're going to be losing our backside scout there in the T-54 lightweight. So we've lost eyes on the southwest corner of the map. Our battle caller is now taking the initiative to move our heavies more aggressively up into the middle area of the map along Echo 6 and Echo 7. And we're holding our Borsigs back in case that they decide to rush their light tanks down the K line to try and cap us or to swarm us. Now the situation here as far as the battle is concerned is the enemy team is defending their territory, so it's up to us to put pressure on them. They do not technically have to kill all of us to win. A draw is a win for them, so the pressure is on us to find them and to get the damage and the kills out. Right now I am being passive here, just in case the enemy lights decide to push down south, or the enemy heavies decide to push up around F3 or F4. And we're also waiting for our RU-251 to move into position there in A7 and A6. It's a good spotting position to spot B2 and A3. And he gets some really good spots in on there on the enemy RU-251, and we get him killed. Now, it's quite common for battles on Fisherman's Bay, as far as clan wars are concerned, to turn into a west versus east situation like this. Very common. And so it's really important for when that situation occurs you have to have a presence on the E line and the F line there on the middle road that's horizontal across the map. In which case we are doing so with the presence of our IS-3s. But how to win this particular situation is winning the vision game on the J line and K line on the south side of the map, or the A line and B line on the north side of the map. You have to be able to spot the Echo 3 and Echo 4 areas from range. And since we have artillery, if we can get those spots out, we can get the damage in and or force them to leave that position, which means that we basically push them all into one column of the map. So this was not planned. I kind of took the initiative here. I'm getting really aggressive with my roll scouts here, just doing a little bit further and further deeper roll scouts, doing testing on enemy vision. And if I get spotted, then I kind of have an idea of where they're sitting to have enough view range to spot me. And I'm kind of going as deep as I dare here in my roll scouts here to get another spot in on one of their heavies. And unfortunately, our RU-251 is not getting very good spots in on the E2, E4 area from his position. It might be a little too far away for him. So I kind of take the initiative here and do something that was not planned originally in the strat. And I'm leaving the E line area because the IS-3s can more or less spot for themselves, engaging against the enemy heavies. And the Borsigs, they're down in the south, have another T-54 lightweight to spot for them. So I'm trying to get a better passive spotting position, or possibly active spotting position, to spot the enemy heavies in Echo 3 and Echo 4 by getting about a couple hundred meters closer to their position. And you can see I spotted another of their IS-5s there. The RU-251 behind me gets a shot in. I'm not so sure firing there in that passive spotting position is a good idea. He could probably get spotted from Bravo 2 pretty easily if the enemy had any eyes there. And right now, I'm doing a little bit of testing here in the vision, just getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer. We get another spot in, and our Artie lands a good hit on him. And the RU-251 gets another shot in on him, dropping him below half health. It's always risky moving along the C-line area into these this little row of bushes along C4 and C5, because you can get spotted from the B2 corner and the D1 perch. But it's basically one of the only ways to spot Echo 3 and Echo 4 from the north side if you can't do so from A5. Right now, our RU-251 was saying that he was seeing stuff falling down in A2 and A3, so he thought that the enemy lights were going to swarm our position here, so I start moving to get ready to retreat. But I actually don't get spotted leaving my passive position, so I communicate back to him that I don't think that they're going to push, because if there was anything in A3, I would have gotten spotted. And now our battle caller is telling our T-54 lightweight in the south to move up to K2, and I'm moving back to either give some better sniper support there from the middle, possibly, and also to possibly move more aggressively in the south depending on what he sees. Now he did not, I'm going to pause the game here, he did not take any damage crossing along this K line from K7 to K2. Now the enemy did have a scout in J2, a T-54 lightweight, but considering that he did not take any damage, I'm thinking that it's pretty likely that there isn't a significant portion of the enemy in G2 or H2. Otherwise, he probably would have gotten shot at least once or twice moving across. So I know that even if there is enemies in the southern portion of the 1-2 lines, I know that they're out of position to what I want to do. And what I want to do is, since we're having trouble in spotting this Echo 3-4 and Foxtrot 3-4 area, spotting their heavies, I can get much better vision on this position here from the south than from the north, right? Because there's this little ridge line that runs along the southern part of the G line and the top portion of the H line there in H2 and H3, and I can use that to either passive or active spot this western position along the E line. So that is my plan. But first, I'm going to do a little bit of test scouting here. You always want to take things in steps, right? Not going into a position blind and basically overcommitting to where you cannot retreat from a certain position. So I'm basically doing some test scouting here to make sure that there isn't any enemy light tanks in H2 or in G1, at least high up on the ridge. And then I can try and get into my active or passive spotting position here along the ridge. I spot one of their heavies flexing across to the 1 line. I think that was the original IS-5 that first got hit at the beginning of the game by our arty. And I'm moving up into this passive spotting position to try to spot E3. But they've actually flexed across to the 1 line, 2 more of their heavies, so that is why I got spotted. The left side of my tank was not covered by the bush because I was not anticipating them moving like that. But I got lucky and did not receive any hits. So now our battle caller, seeing that I spotted their enemy heavies moving to the 1 line, is calling our IS-3s to move up even further. And now we're just closing the distance around the enemy positions, right? Little by little, we're whittling them down, and we're getting more and more map control just step by step. And I'm just trying to keep closing the vision bubble on the enemy positions. You can see that we basically control more or less 75% of the map or more. So now from this point, it's just a coordination game, basically. The enemies are in a bad position, and the only way we can lose this now is not focusing our fire and not timing our pushes together at the same time. I see the 1390 there in D1, and I'm kind of worried about him rushing. I'm trying to rush back to help save our RU-251, but I was a little bit out of position, a couple 100 meters too far away, and unfortunately I was not able to save him. But I have the HP, I know I can kill this T-54 lightweight, so I just stand my ground. we get them killed. Now we're running away because I'm anticipating that the 1390 that was spotted in D1 will try to rush me and kill me since he's an autoloader. So I'm giving him a wide berth, moving back to the center of the map along the 5 line, 6 line. But I do not see him, so I decide to close the distance. Our Porsigs down there in H1 have moved into position and now they can support me. And I respot the 1390. And he gets smacked by a whole bunch of my team. That's how Focus Fire works. We're able to dodge the IS-5 shell and bounce a couple of the 1390 shells. And the RD on my team kills the 1390. Now, because we're kind of on a crunch for time a little bit, I decide to go for the target that's more difficult for my team to reach, which is the RD. And use a one-shot, of course. And we get behind the last IS-5 and take him out. So this is a pretty stereotypical example of how Clan Wars battles kind of plays out on Fisherman's Bay. You do sometimes end up with a north versus south battle, but a lot of the time the teams will rush either the 7-8 lines or the 1-2 lines and get control all the way to the bottom or the top end of the map, and you end up with a east versus west scenario. And the key to winning this battle, like I said before, was when you get into that kind of scenario, the only way that you're going to defeat the enemy's defensive position is by getting good vision on them. And we just took our time and progressively worked closer and closer to enemy positions, spotting positions that were exposed and not able to be supported by the rest of their teammates, at least from range. And as far as view range is concerned, their IS-5s did not have a lot of good vision support from B2 on the north side, and they really didn't have good vision support from H2 on the south side either. When we flexed both of our A-line and K-line scouts, the T-54 lightweight into K2 and the RU-251 into A6 and A5, they were able to do so without really getting threatened of getting spotted. So that was kind of the mistake that lost the game for the enemy team. And from there, we just worked back and forth, north and south, and slowly whittled down the enemy heavies and forced them to retreat from their E3 position onto the 1 line. And once they were all on the 1 line, it's very easy to isolate enemy tank pockets from multiple directions and focus fire and kill them. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and learned more how to progressively work this map as far as view range is concerned, eliminating position by position progressively and forcing the enemy team into a bad position. It's really important to maintain good vision on the enemy team, not only in pub matches but especially in Clan Wars battles, because even if your team does not have any shots on the enemy positions, you know what the enemy team are doing as far as their positioning, and your battle caller can make more educated and informed decisions about where to place your team. So I wish you guys the best of luck out there on the battlefield. Good hunting and take care.